By the end of this video, you'll stop waiting to feel ready and start taking messy, imperfect action that actually builds momentum. If you've been stuck overthinking, this is going to set you free. I used to procrastinate all the time. I was stuck in a 9-to-5 job when I used to work in the insurance industry in London, and I always knew that there was something more for me out there, something big that I wanted to achieve. I wanted my own business. I didn't want to be working for someone else, but I kept procrastinating on it. These thoughts, they kept coming into my mind, but I didn't take action. I was always waiting for the perfect time. And recently, to be honest with you, I've actually been procrastinating on making these YouTube videos. Over the past few years, I've come a long way with procrastination and implementing the exact things that I'm going to tell you today. But for some reason, I did slip into that old habit again of the procrastination with these videos, but I've just realized it, and that's why I'm taking action now. So the first thing I want to talk about is the illusion of feeling ready. You're never going to feel ready. There's never a perfect time. Clarity comes from action, not overthinking. Yes, maybe the first things that you do on this path to success, taking action, maybe they're not going to be perfect. This video's definitely not going to be perfect. It's not going to be as good as the ones that I'm going to do in 100 videos time or 1,000 videos time. They're going to get better and better, but the main thing is taking action. If I always just procrastinate on taking these videos, they're never going to happen. They're never going to get better. You get better by putting the reps in, taking action, failing, working out where you can improve, and then making those adjustments as you go along. Every single successful entrepreneur started messy. No one starts perfect. You need to be doing the thing to get better at it. You can't learn to ride a bike by reading the manual. Yes, at the start, you're going to be a little bit wobbly. You're going to probably have the stabilizers on there, some things to help you out, and you're going to maybe have some injuries along the way, falling off, getting back up. But it's about getting back up and going again, getting back on the bike, keeping on moving forwards. That's how you're going to get better. And it's just the same as every single thing you do within your life, and what you've done up until this point to get you where you are today is been taking action. The second thing I want to talk about is perfection. Perfection is just procrastination in disguise. This is something I used to label myself as, a perfectionist. Maybe I didn't want to start these videos just because maybe I wanted them to be perfect. Maybe I wanted them to have some fancy editing or something like that. Maybe I'm not going to be as good of a speaker doing these long form videos as I might be in 100 videos time, in 1,000 videos time. But if you're a perfectionist, this is just another form of procrastination. If you're trying to be perfect right now, just like I was, it's just fear. It really is fear. It's just disguised in a different way. So if you can start realizing that and actually realizing what perfectionism is, it's just fear of failure, or maybe it's just another form of you finding some other reason why you can't get started. If you stop glorifying perfectionism and start actually realizing it for what it is, it's not a good thing. It's something that's stopping you from where you want to get to. Done gets feedback. Perfect never gets posted. And this is what I had to learn when I first started my journey on Instagram with my online coaching business, is posting up that first reel. It was absolutely terrible. But if I never got started on that, I would have never learned how I could have improved. The third thing I want to talk about is momentum over mastery. You need to start ugly and you need to improve in public. That's how real growth actually happens. It's about putting in the reps. It's like if you're going in the gym, you need to be training all the time, putting those reps in. You're not just going to get a PB out of nowhere. The fourth thing as well is if you're looking to build your personal brand, or maybe scale your own business, or start your first business up in the first place, people follow imperfect leaders. There's so many people out there that come across as perfect, and maybe they don't do anything wrong, or they have no flaws. But actually the truth is that vulnerability builds trust. Maybe in the future, someone's going to watch this video back in a couple years' time when I have a lot more videos on my channel, and they're going to be able to see where I started on my journey. Not just the highlight reels. Obviously on social media, it's a similar thing at the moment. You always see where people are doing well, where they're succeeding, and sometimes people don't actually just want to see the success. They want to see someone that's relatable, someone that they can actually connect with and aspire to be like. They don't want to see someone that's so out of reach that they can't connect with and achieve what that person has achieved. So show your journey. Don't just show where you turned out, People want to see how you've got to where you are today. Stop pretending to have it all figured out. We all have weaknesses, we all have things that we're not necessarily perfect at. So stop pretending just to have it all figured out. Every master was once a beginner. So yes, your first video, your first post, it's gonna absolutely suck. If you look at the first video that I posted on this channel, it absolutely sucked. But it had a purpose behind it. I told myself I'm gonna press that button and go, and I'm not gonna look back. I gave myself no excuses because momentum means mastery in the future. So the fact that your first video is gonna suck, it's not only okay, it's absolutely necessary. So what can you actually start doing from now to take action on this? The first thing is set a 48-hour deadline. I want you to pick one thing that you've been putting off right now, whether it's your first story on Instagram, whether it's your first YouTube video, your first reel on Instagram, I don't care what it is. You need to commit to yourself to doing that thing right now. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it in your phone notes, it doesn't matter. You can even message me on Instagram if you want and tell me what that thing is. The second thing is create it. Do not critique it. Turn off that inner critic. That's exactly what I did on my first YouTube video. I just had to make one piece of content without fearing what other people are gonna think. You've just got to hit publish and just get it done. The next thing you can do, and this is a very, very powerful one, is post your progress publicly. And I don't just mean when you get the wins. Share the now, share the vulnerability, share the authenticity for people to relate with. This is exactly what I did when I first started on Instagram, and I'm doing the same exact thing now on YouTube. People don't just want to see that highlight reel that we were speaking about before. They want to see now. They want to be able to look back at this and they want to see you progressing on your journey. It's okay to tell people, look, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm just starting out, but this is where I'm heading and come along with me for the ride. It's that true vulnerability that builds trust and accountability. The next one's the one take rule, and this is exactly the one that I used on my first YouTube video. I was procrastinating on this for weeks, and I said, I'm gonna press that button and go, using the one take rule. I just pressed record, and you can go back, you can have watched it. It's pretty terrible, and I just said, you know, I know this one's gonna be terrible, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna post it, one take, no editing, anything like that. We're just getting it up there. And the next action point I want you to use on this journey of overcoming procrastination is tracking the reps, not tracking the results. Track how many videos you do, or how many offers you make, whatever it is you're procrastinating on right now. Track those reps that you put in. Don't track the results, don't track the views, whatever it might be. I want you to track those reps and your actual inputs rather than the outputs and the results. An example of that would be this week, I'm gonna post 3 videos rather than I'm gonna get 3 clients. And the last tip I wanna give you today is find someone to hold you accountable, whether it's a friend, family member, or ideally, someone that's procrastinating on the exact same thing that you're procrastinating on right now. Maybe you can set some punishments in place for if you don't complete the thing. Or if you really can't think of anyone that would be suitable, just send me a message on Instagram and I'll hold you accountable. And before we go, I just want you to ask yourself 2 questions. The first one is, what's the worst thing that could happen if I do this? And the second one is, what's the best thing that could happen if I do this? For me, I asked myself the exact same questions at the start when I first started posting on Instagram. And the answer to the first question was, the worst thing that could have happened was maybe I was a little bit embarrassed. Maybe I had some comments from friends or people that knew me saying that maybe what I was posting was a little bit embarrassing. That's probably the worst thing that could have happened. But the best thing that could have happened is exactly what's happened to me. I've grown an audience on Instagram. I've connected with them. I've built that trust, and I've been fortunate enough to turn some of those followers into clients, built a business, taken on team members, travel the world whilst doing so, have complete freedom in my schedule, live life on my own terms. I'm living here in Thailand at the moment. I'm living between Thailand and Dubai, living my dream life. Whereas before I was in England and this never would have happened. I would have still been in my 9-to-5 job, doing something that I didn't enjoy. And it all starts with that action and that first step. So lean into that possibility, not into perfection. If I took the perfection route, I never would have got started and never would have got to where I am today. So think about the cost of waiting. Waiting for perfection is how dreams really die. You're not just robbing yourself of your potential future life, but you're also robbing absolutely everyone that you could be having a massive impact on. So start taking action. And if you want some help growing your own personal brand and your own online business to have freedom and live life on your own terms, just hit the link below and I'll reach out to you.